day 194, and this morning I slept in because I really needed to, and I could. So I actually slept in until 1 o'clock, which was great. It was so good to sleep in and just to give myself that rest and not have to get up and not have to do anything. I loved it. And my whole aim today was to stay at home and not go anywhere near the cafe. However, that didn't work because a few things happened at the cafe and the bed and breakfast that I had to look after myself. So I ended up going there, and then I ended up staying there until I think 7 o'clock. So I was there from about 2 o'clock till 7 o'clock, and I really didn't mean for that to happen, but that's what ended up happening. And I was just thinking about how long it can take us sometimes to really change patterns in our lives that don't serve us. So one of my things is doing too much for people and not putting up my boundaries in a way that supports my health and looks after my health. So I am very focused on looking after other people's health and making life easier for other people. However, when it comes to my health, I am kind of like putting that to the back, which a lot of women do. It's a natural thing that we seem to do in the society that we live in these days. So for me, the best thing that I could have done was gone to the cafe, done what I needed to do, and then leave. But I didn't. I kind of hung around a little bit because there was this and that and little things that I could have helped with or could have done. And then I found myself being there for too long. And I think often what happens when we are trying to establish new patterns in our lives, and we're kind of aware of where we are in our lives with negative things that we're playing out that don't serve us at all and don't kind of get us to where we're going, and we get impatient because we want them to change right now. However, a lot of them are so ingrained in us and have been so ingrained in us for such a long time that it actually takes time and patience to allow them to shift and change, and it takes a lot of consciousness. So it pretty much takes daily work, being really aware on a daily basis. So we have to work on these things and be consciously aware and engaged in these things on a daily basis for extended periods of time to be able to shift those things within us. They don't just happen all of a sudden. And I think there is a lot of kind of misinformation going around that you can just change and shift things all of a sudden. And all of a sudden I woke up the next morning and I didn't do that anymore. And it's something, so many things in our lives that are playing out within us because of who we are and the way we've been brought up that aren't serving us are actually so deeply ingrained in us. They're ingrained in the way that we walk down the street and greet people or don't greet people. They're ingrained in the way that we drive our car. They're ingrained in the way that we eat. They're ingrained in the way that we have a shower and the way that we get out of bed in the morning. So to be able to shift them really fully on a cellular level, it actually takes consistent action on a daily basis for extended periods of time, and being really aware of those things on a daily basis for extended periods of time. So I think there's a lot of people who really want to shift themselves and get impatient or start to feel bad because it's not happening, because there is this kind of mindset that you're going to do it overnight and then suddenly the next day you wake up and everything has changed and you've shifted your paradigm. I don't think that happens very often at all. It takes action on a daily basis. It takes understanding of that. It takes an engagement in the process, because a lot of these things we have created through however many years we've been alive, through our childhood trauma or our whatever we've been through in our life. It's been something that has been created over an extended period of time and actually needs engagement to be shifted. And one of the most important things really is to be aware that it's happening, to be aware that it keeps on happening, and to be aware of whether we're engaging in it or whether we're not engaging in it, or how much more we need to engage in it, and what's going to actually make the shift happen. That's really important, because if we just keep on forgetting about it every day, the shift is never going to happen, right? So we have to be engaged in it on a daily basis. So that's day 194.